Today's program is sponsored by The Anthony Vincent Salon. Say hello to beautiful.
You're listening to Trend Radio, where we talk about what's hot and what's not. Get into the loop with us. I'm Anthony Vincent.
And I'm Elise, and we're your radio gateway to what's trending with beauty, fashion, health, wellness, and sex.
Mostly sex.
Learn and laugh with us anytime, anyplace. Go right to our website, AnthonyVincentSalon.com. Click away and listen today.
You'll be glad you did.
You sure will be.
Oh, we have a great show today.
We always have a great show. And you know why, Anthony?
Because it's us.
Because it's us.
Happy Valentine's Day,
and
everybody.
Happy Valentine's Day to you, Anthony.
Thank you, and happy Valentine's Day to you.
Well, thank you.
Happy Valentine's Day, Stu. Right, Stu?
Happy Valentine's Day to you, too.
And we have a very special little guest with us today, Megan. And so we want to wish you a very happy Valentine's Day to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, Anthony, what do we got today?
Oh, we have so much. It's about men and women and their relationships, things you can do to spice up your relationship, and one of the differences between men and women.
Oh, there's plenty of differences, not just one.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Oh, yeah. We're talking Mars and Venus here, baby.
Mm-hmm. Well, today's show is for lovers only.
Oh, so if you're not a lover, I guess you tune out?
You can't listen.
Yeah.
You have to be in love with somebody or something. Something, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So everybody can listen then, because there's everybody is out there that, I mean, no matter what, you're in love with something, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
tell me.
Before we start, now, did you know that
Yes,
men,
I did. I
you
know.
did? Yeah,
I know everything.
Yeah, you know it all.
Okay.
Men, there was a study done, and men really do have selective hearing.
I know that. I sit next to one of them every Monday morning who is very selective with what he hears.
Well, yeah.
That's my co-host, by the way, everybody. Tell me how you know this, though. How did you come about this?
Because you know that I'm just a plethora of information.
Yes, you are. You are.
But men tune out after about 6 minutes with women just talking. You know, women talk and talk and talk, and then they talk some more, and you come home, and then how was your day today? My day was fine. Yeah, how was your day? It was great. What did you do today? Oh, I worked today.
I have a great thing, though. This is what I do. I make sure when I'm speaking to you, for instance,
it doesn't last more than 6 minutes.
I make it short and sweet. Mm-hmm. This way I know everything I'm saying you're listening to.
That's how I like it. And because typically what women talk about, men are not interested in some of the things that they talk about.
Oh, you're interested in everything I talk about. I know you are.
I'm in big trouble if I'm not.
That's correct. Yeah.
But you know what? Men also tune out other men after 15 minutes.
Oh, that's an interesting
So they
one.
don't only...
So the car talk and the pool talk and
15 minutes.
The golf talk, it's only for about 15 minutes.
Only for about 15 minutes.
Nice.
And did you ever meet somebody, or you see somebody on the street, you haven't seen them in a while, and you say hi and you exchange your niceties, and you want to talk for about 10 or 15 minutes, and this
and then
person,
it's done. This person wants to keep going.
They just don't shut up.
Yeah,
they go on
I know.
and on and on, and now you find yourself trying to run away or
and
get
you're
away.
Smiling, a really big smile, and you're like,
jaw's hurt.
"Oh my God, my phone's ringing. I have to go. My kid's calling me, or whatever. Yeah, I have to go bowling. Something, right?
Yeah, I got to go see a man about a horse.
Yeah, something. Yeah.
There's been some studies done that if you pull up your socks during a lengthy conversation, that will cut the.
I would have never thought of that.
Yeah, you pull up your
but
socks.
I guess a guy could pull up his socks.
Right.
I notice you do that a lot. I thought you just needed new socks. You're just trying to end a conversation.
I'm pulling up my socks now.
I get it. You're not pulling up your socks. Don't even try it.
Or you look at your watch. Which is really kind of rude.
I think so. A lot of people, break the trance by looking at their phone. That's also rude.
Yeah, I actually had to do that. I was in a situation.
He's doing it right now. I can't even believe you in the middle of our conversation. You guys can't see this, but I can.
Can I finish my story?
Of course.
This happened to me
Okay, tell me.
just the other
I
day.
want to know what happened to you.
So I'm talking with someone, and it was very, very nice to see them. I haven't seen them in a while, and it went on and on and on for about 40 minutes.
Sort of like what's
I
happening now?
took my phone out and I looked at it and I said, "Oh, I got to get the salon a call. They're they're getting ready to close up now. I gotta check in with them."
go.
And I walked away.
Ooh.
Isn't that awful?
It's not really. I guess it was just too much. It was too much boredom for you.
No, not boredom. It was just too long.
Ah.
It was too long.
Alrighty. Well, before this gets too long, what have you got for me?
Well, the guy and girl thing.
Yes. What about it?
Well, does romance kill men's sex drive?
I don't think so. Usually, I would think that. Well, why?
I'm not
Why do you
talking
say
about
that?
sex. I'm talking about romance.
Well, romance is nice. What, you don't like romance? All of a sudden, you're not romantic?
No, I never said that. I'm just.
Well, does romance kill your sex drive? You're the man here.
Well, you're talking about the vernacular.
Always the vernacular.
Yes.
It's always the vernacular, but we cannot say my vernacular because I'm not anywhere near the male brain.
Well, the male has two brains. You know
Yes,
that.
I know that.
Yes, the big
But I
brain
have
and the
neither
little
of
brain.
those.
Yeah.
I have neither of those.
He's
brains.
guided with the little brain.
Okay.
Anyway, romance primes her body for the bedroom, but for men, it might just have the opposite effect.
So, ladies, while your man is being romantic, make sure you're being pornographic.
Yeah, guys respond to pornographic.
Okay.
Well, it turns out there is a scientific reason
And what is that?
that why the chick flicks rev a woman's sex drive, but it also dampens men's desire to hit the sheets.
Okay. So, what's the reason?
Well, this is according to a study in the journal Archives of Sexual Behavior.
Okay.
So,
All right. So, tell me why.
well, you see, my dear Liz, in the
Is
world.
this Dr. Love? Tell me.
Oh, you want Dr. Love to tell you the story?
I feel like Dr. Love needs to tell me this romantic story.
Dr. Love, can you help us out over here?
Yeah, I'm coming. I'll be right there.
So now you were saying, my dear Elise, that you see, in the world of sexual research, there is a theory about sexual desire called incentive motivation model.
Oh, okay.
See, that is a technical way of saying that arousal starts with a rewarding stimuli.
Okay, so what is this rewarding stimuli?
Well, I thought you'd never ask. For example,
You know I'm going to ask.
seeing your partner scantily clad, which automatically leads to a boost in the below the belt blood flow.
Oh, okay. Continue.
Now, my dear, once you realize that your body is responding, your mind joins the arousal process. This heightens your physical response, compelling you to seek sex.
This is starting to sound a little bit weird.
That is from the art. But by the way, thank you, Dr. Lowe. That is from the Archives of Sexual Behavior.
Okay.
And it's accurate and it's true. And you see that whole arousal process, it varies dramatically between men and women, as you may know.
Absolutely. I completely agree. It does vary.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned porn.
Well, yeah, because I was actually being cute and funny, but also at the same time, if men are not going to respond well to romance, what is it that they will respond to?
Porn.
Yeah.
Well, I was just being smart. You see, in a lot of research, when women watch porn, their bodies react, but they don't feel anything inside. They're aroused, but they don't
So
feel
let me ask you a
emotional.
question. This is according to a study or according to firsthand knowledge? Because think about this for just 1 minute. You are honestly, under no circumstances, any where near the female mind right now, because you really
No, I'm
honestly
definitely not.
Exactly. So how could you possibly know that a woman wouldn't feel anything watching that?
Well, this is Dr. Marky DeWitt. He is a professor.
You just said a mouthful. He is telling you
well, no.
what a woman is going to feel. Because I beg to differ.
Oh, I'm sorry. Marky DeWitt is a female.
Okay. Oh, you got me there. Well, not everybody is the same, Anthony.
Of course not. That's why there's a lot of different flavors.
Absolutely.
Vanilla, chocolate, strawberry.
Dark, sinful chocolate.
We're going to be talking about that later on.
It's my favorite.
So, okay, Dr. Marky DeWitt, she's a professor at the Clinical Psychological Science at Maastricht University.
Maastricht.
Yeah, that's what I said. Maastricht.
Maastricht.
That's what I said.
Okay. Exactly what you said. Stop hitting me.
Okay. Now, she says that women will watch porn that is more female oriented and they respond with more sexual arousal.
Okay. I'm not going to say anything about what she thinks.
This was just a study.
It's just a study.
And
so
it's
I'm not
not
even
for everybody.
Okay. I'm not going to agree or disagree. How's that?
Okay. Well, a woman's sexuality is more dependent on the relationship context.
You mean the emotional area?
Yes. It's not the actual sex where they do get stimulated.
Okay.
But the feeling part.
Okay, I think it depends on the woman.
Of course it does.
Okay.
In this study, women reported, a greater desire for sex after watching like the Titanic or Indecent Proposal.
Really?
Yeah. Men, on the other hand, were more inclined to watching explicit clips.
I see.
They want to see the deed, and the women love that.
Some women think like men.
Some do. Mm-hmm. Yes,
They do.
This is not for everybody. Mm-hmm. This is just a study
Okay.
that
I get it.
we seem to find all over the damn place.
That's really funny.
Well, this. Men need, more visual information. Guys tend to favor explicit sexual stimuli like the
Yes.
pornography.
Yes.
And the attachment is more important. So it makes the sense of sexuality much more related to the relationship.
Okay. All right. Whatever you say, sir.
Anyway, this study debunks the theory that men are simply more sexual than women. DeWitt found that in a test designed to measure implicit feelings and automatic response.
Okay. Well, you know what? Kudos to her then for everything that
The
she's saying.
conclusion
Yeah, what's the conclusion?
is exactly what you said.
Okay.
Women like sex just as much as men.
Basically, I'm thinking that.
Of course you are. So a word from our sponsor, and we'll be right back. Don't go away.
Don't.
Need a salon that's about the whole you? Precision haircuts, flawless makeup, impeccable nails, top-rated professional hair products. Anthony Vincent Salon. Looking for a hairstylist who has his finger on the pulse of all the latest trends? Anthony Vincent Salon. Looking for a dependable salon with over 35 years in the industry? Anthony Vincent Salon. Looking for New York City and internationally trained stylists that will create the perfect look for you? Anthony Vincent Salon. Shine brightly while walking down the aisle. Anthony Vincent Salon. For longer, thicker, beautiful hair extensions, Anthony Vincent Salon. Incredible makeup applications for weddings, proms, or any special occasions. Anthony Vincent Salon. Have dry, brittle summer hair? Get a hot shot. Anthony Vincent Salon. Before you put a ring on it, manicure it. Anthony Vincent Salon. Your image is their specialty. For the 150,000 hairs on your head, there's only one choice. Anthony Vincent Salon. For a more beautiful you, call now 609-448-2212 and follow them on Twitter.
And now our very own gatekeeper of matrimonial law, Roseanne de Torres.
Check out DeTorres and DeGeorge, certified matrimonial law attorneys at dndfamilylaw.com.
You'll be glad you did.
Good morning, Roseanne.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm fabulous.
Good to hear.
I know we are fabulous, I should say, right?
The three of us.
You look fabulous.
Actually,
Well,
the four of
thank
us.
you. Yeah, we're all fabulous. Okay, so I have a really, really cool question for you. And I just didn't know the answer. Somebody actually, a man actually asked me this question, so I'm asking you. At any time, can a parent change a minor child's last name without the other parent's permission?
No, you can't do that.
You know what? I thought that, but I wasn't 100% sure, so I wanted to make sure.
Yeah, so the longer a child has the name, the harder it is to change it
I wouldn't
without
think
the
that
other
you'd wanna
parent's
do that.
permission. Right.
You know, but
It's interesting that you asked me about that because I actually took a case to the New Jersey Supreme Court about that very issue, about the last name of a child.
really?
Yeah. The case is called Adley versus Ronan. And my client was the father. He was not married to the mother. The birth certificate had the child's name, which was my client's last name, Adley. But the mother, when the child went off to preschool, hyphenated the child's last name to include her name, Adley-Ronan. My client objected. There's really very little case law on it at the time. My guy lost. But we did make law in the state of New Jersey at the time. It's changed a little bit now, but at the time it was deemed to be appropriate for the custodial parent to be able to include her name in the child's name without the permission of the other parent. But as the child ages, it gets harder and harder to change because there's an identity that's built up around the name.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah, I
so
agree.
the longer you use the name, the child is known by that name, it becomes that much harder to change. So the law's a little different now. The custodial parent is given a little more discretion now to change the name, but there's a bunch of factors that have to be considered, but certainly not without the consent of the other parent. I mean, the court can impose that without the consent, but you couldn't just do it on your own.
Wow. Very interesting. Wow, I'm glad that was a good question.
Yeah.
Now, when the child is 18, they can change their name whatever they want if they want it to unhyphenate it or change it or
Yeah,
do
they'd
whatever.
have to go through a name change proceeding, and as long as they weren't changing their name to avoid creditors or criminal prosecution, you could change your name to whatever you want. Like,
Well, you wouldn't be able to avoid anything because you have to do it legally in order to.
right. Like
Yeah,
that
so-
basketball player, Metta World Peace, and Ocho Cinco, the football player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Prince is always
They
changing
could
his name.
change their name to whatever you want.
Oh, very cool. Very, very cool. Okay. After somebody files for divorce, do they have to continue living in the state that they filed?
While
Like in
the-
New Jersey?
While the proceeding is going on, no, they don't have to stay. No, you can go. But you have to have a residency requirement. It's 1 year.
Okay.
You have to have lived in New Jersey for at least a year before you can file for divorce in New Jersey.
Oh, you have to live in New Jersey for at least a year?
Yeah. So, but once you've achieved
That's
that,
interesting. I was going to ask that question. Okay.
once you've achieved that, then and you file, then you can leave.
Okay, so you just have to file. So you can still,
Yeah.
your divorce will still be going on, but you can actually not be there.
Correct.
Huh.
Yep.
Very, very interesting.
Unless you have children, you couldn't bring the children across straight lines.
That's true. There's a statute that prohibits a parent from permanently removing children from the state of New Jersey without the other parent's consent. Otherwise, that's called kidnapping.
Yes.
That-
Can't have that. Yeah. What do you mean you hate that? You don't have kids, so it wouldn't pertain to you.
You don't know that.
I'm
He doesn't know that.
I don't know that either.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you know that? Interesting. Wow. Well, thank you so much
You're
for
very
these
welcome.
wonderful answers.
Roseanne, if our listeners want to get a hold of you, where can they reach you?
Our law firm is called DeTorres and DeGeorge. We're located at 146 Main Street in Flemington, New Jersey. Our phone is 908-284-6005, and our website is dnddfamilylaw.com.
Perfect.
This portion of our show is sponsored by Susan Eckley Ruck of ID Life. Not a one-size-fits-all nutritional program.
ID Life stands for Individually Designed Life, where nutrition is personal, formulated just for you and your needs.
Get started today. Take the free HIPAA-compliant health assessment.
Healthforlife.idlife.com.
That's the number 4.
Or give Susan a call, 609-712-1351.
Follow her on Facebook.
You'll be glad you did.
Your favorite salon is now your favorite radio show.
We make you healthier, wealthier, and sexier every time you listen.
Tune in to us. I'm Anthony Vincent.
And I'm Elise, and we are Trend Radio.
Well,
Well, what?
welcome back.
Well, hello.
And our Valentine's Day show today, we are going to talk about some sexy things that you can do with chocolate.
I love chocolate. You know chocolate, dark chocolate. Oh,
My favorite.
my favorite.
You know
So
I
what
like
can we
my-
do? What?
You know I like my chocolate dark. What else do I like dark?
And you like your women darker. But, you know, it depends if you think about it. What are you actually talking about? The darkness inside them?
Yeah, that's usually what I wind up.
Yeah.
with there, yeah.
Okay. So what can you do with chocolate
Well,
that's sexy besides what I'm thinking right now?
shame on you.
How do you know what I'm thinking? You don't know what I'm thinking.
I know.
Get out of my head.
Well, you know, chocolate, I mean, from the days of the Aztecs,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it has been considered an aphrodisiac.
I know that.
You know, and it is the sexiest food out there.
I agree. I could not agree more.
Well, some of the chemicals, and this is why, some of the chemicals that it contains, like theobromine, and
That even sounds sexy. Theobromine.
bring that bromine right here.
Yeah.
I want you to take a taste of my phenylethylamine.
Okay.
That
you got
is a
some?
mouthful.
Yeah,
isn't it?
that is. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Speaking of what can be a mouthful,
Well, those two things, ingredients or chemicals, you know, in chocolate are responsible for that chocolate's erotic potency. There's also the fact that chocolate is not only delicious, but it easily melts into a warm, slippery, shiny, sweet mess that we're going to...
This is a riot. You're just that people just want to lick up. Is that what you're basically getting
Basically,
to?
yeah.
Yeah. So you
It's-
can drizzle the chocolate all over the body and then just lick it off. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying.
Alrighty. So then spit it out.
So here it is. What we're going to talk about now is for lovers only. So if
We're
you
back to the lovers only thing.
Yes, we are. If you're prudish, change the station right now.
Ooh.
If not,
Keep listening.
pull up your bootstraps, sit down because you're going for a ride.
Oh wow. All right. Let's see.
So, all right. Now, Valentine's Day is coming up. We've been talking about that
It's
all morning.
today.
It is. I forgot.
Already? You know, I'm going to have to neuralize his brain a little bit. Yeah, it's today.
Well, Valentine's Day is today. I just, I get thrown off.
You already said Happy Valentine's Day to me. You know what?
That wasn't pre-recorded?
Say it again.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. All right. And we're back.
Well, because it's Valentine's Day, it seems only prudent to run over some of the fun and romantic ways that chocolate can be used in sex play.
Okay. So let's talk about it.
Okay. Erotic games.
Okay. Like what?
Well, erotic games do bring sparks into the bedroom because it should be fun.
Absolutely.
It shouldn't be work. It should be fun.
It should be fun. And you know, here's the one thing though. When you're playing with chocolate, make sure you have no, seriously, this is very important because people might not remember that it can be a little bit messy and you might not really want to ruin, your sheets or your comforter. So make sure you make allowances for that sort of thing beforehand. That was just the practical side for just a moment. I don't want anybody to hate us.
You sound like such a mom.
I wasn't being a mom. Ew, that would be gross. I wasn't being a mom. I was just, some people have nice expensive sheets. They don't want to ruin it with chocolate.
Okay.
All right.
See, I don't care. We're guys.
You know what? You're a guy. You're a guy.
we don't
I'm talking
care
to the
about the
ladies
sheets.
out
We
there.
don't care about the
We
sheets.
care about the expensive sheets
Well,
made of satin and silk that you can slide all over.
but you're going to have the melted, slippery, sweet chocolate to slip and slide all over. You don't need the silk sheets.
All right.
You need the silk sheets if you don't have the chocolate.
Oh.
Anyway.
Maybe we women want both.
You want it all.
I do. There's no issue with that.
Okay.
All right.
So then you realize that chocolate has a beneficial effect on sex life because it increases the libido.
I was just going to say that. You took the words right out of my mouth.
We do that often.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, Mayan tribes used to drink chocolate for fertility. Even,
Yes.
Even during the ritual of marriage, they used to drink a concentrated chocolate beverage.
Oh, I'm sure it was delicious too.
Yeah, those contents in chocolate, which is another one called phenylethylamine. That is a substance that produces a mild dream state, and it's produced.
I know that. That's like euphoria.
Yeah, that you get that when you fall in love
When you're eating chocolate or when you're having intense sex. Yeah, the euphoria.
just before an orgasm.
Yeah. Yeah. See, there are some women,
You eat chocolate before an orgasm or during?
there are there are some women that would actually rather eat chocolate than have sex with their partner. Because
Yeah, I
first
think
of
I
all,
dated her.
it's less emotional, and secondly, it's less expensive.
I had a girlfriend that used to smoke after sex. That wasn't so bad. But this last one would smoke during sex. So I don't know. Maybe it was
Just
me.
throw some water at her and let her go. Absolutely. That's really funny. I'm sure you dumped her.
So, yes. So, you know, there are different styles of romance with chocolate.
Oh, okay.
There's
Let's
a
talk
style.
about it.
Okay. There's Roman style.
Roman style.
Roman style, yes.
Okay, not romance,
Roman.
but Roman.
Yes, like
Okay.
the gladiator style.
Uh-huh. Like Caesar. Mm-hmm. Okay.
And that's like feeding your partner chocolate is an obvious part of foreplay. But if you put like the dominant submissive dynamic, that can make chocolate that much more sensual.
Well, explain that. Let's get a little bit deeper into that. The dominant submissive
Yes.
with chocolate. How would that be?
Okay.
So basically, wait. Let's do a whole thing here. So let's just say the man is the dominant one and the
Okay.
woman is the submissive.
Okay, so
And
the
so
dominant
he
one-
basically has her tied up and he's forcing her to have chocolate. Is that what you're saying?
All right, think of it this way. Okay, now the dominant
Okay.
partner,
Uh-huh.
he's lying on the bed.
Okay.
Okay, he's dressed in something sexy, and then the submissive slowly hand feeds him the chocolate or fruit dipped in chocolate.
Oh, yeah, like a strawberry or a banana.
Yeah, and you can use a fondue pot for this. Keep a fondue pot.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever had watermelon dipped in chocolate?
I have. I've had
so good.
watermelon, bacon.
Yeah, the bacon
Berries,
not so much.
potato chips.
But we were talking fruit. And the watermelon with the chocolate is insane. I mean, I love oranges with chocolate and pineapple.
Yeah, oranges are my favorite
And
with
grapes are freaking amazing. But the freaking watermelon is insane with the chocolate.
chocolate. Okay. Think of this. The submissive is dipping the fruit in the chocolate.
Okay.
And she's touching your lips with the fruit.
Uh-huh.
You're licking her fingers.
Okay.
See, if you love being pampered,
That's definitely the way to go. Yeah.
or submissive. Okay, this little game is a real winner, and it could be either way.
So here's what I'm going to say then. Again, it is Valentine's Day. And so if you don't have plans, or if you're one of those, you're people who are late planners, think about what you can do tonight. You can go get some takeout, and you can light some candles, and you can hook up your fondue pot. Seriously. And get some dark chocolate, because why not have health benefits while you're having, sex benefits? And you can dip your chocolate and have a really fabulous evening. Bottle of Cabernet. I think it's a winner.
It sounds great to me.
Yeah.
I'm going to be wanting to dip more than my chocolate.
Oh, Anthony.
No, I'm talking about the fruit. I want to dip the bacon.
Oh, yeah, you don't want to dip the bacon.
No.
The bacon's all fatty. Get rid of that. Ew.
Whatever you say, you are
Yeah.
the boss of me.
Yeah, we want to just stick with the fruit. This way it doesn't weigh us down when we're having, we want to have a clear mind.
Okay. Now, you can also have a sticky little kiss with chocolate.
Yeah. Yeah, like lip gloss. You know how you have like a lip gloss kiss and that's all sticky?
Yeah.
Well, instead, take the melted chocolate, put it on your lips, give a nice kiss, and it's delicious.
Ah, yes. How about a French kiss
With chocolate?
with chocolate? Your partner's mouth is full of chocolate, and you can play with this too. Slipping it into your mouth. A little
Yeah.
piece of chocolate while your partner is
It's all
not
warm and
looking,
sticky and
distracted.
yummy.
It would be a nice
sweet
little
kiss.
surprise. Or you can put a piece of chocolate into your partner's mouth, then
Take it back.
ask for it back, having them
like
put
this.
it in your mouth.
Like this.
Yeah.
No. I want the one from your mouth.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yes, and that will keep the attraction high for a
Nothing like
long time.
Covering a cherry with chocolate and taking the cherry right out of her mouth.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a winner.
That is really kind of hot.
Yeah.
Well, for some people, there's nothing that's a bigger turn on than the feel of hot wax on their back or
You can go with
chest.
hot chocolate too.
Well, that's what I was just about to say.
I know.
Try, of course, dripping warm chocolate on your partner's chest may be just the thing, but
And licking it off.
and licking it off, you got it.
So here's what I'm going to say now. Maybe you guys should skip dinner, okay, and go right to
Go
the
right-
dessert so that
right-
you're not too full to eat all of this chocolate. I'm thinking that.
Okay.
All right.
I'm thinking a lot of lovers are liking
going
the way
to
you think.
Absolutely. Why wouldn't they like the way I think? I'm clear.
Yes, you are. You're very, very clear. But, every body has different sensitive spots.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they do. So how about putting the melted chocolate on ears, toes, or thighs? Behind your knees.
Yeah. I'm just thinking. I'm thinking.
My mouth just got dry.
I'm just thinking like behind the knees, like, sometimes it's like sticky or something if you're running or working out. And I'm just thinking, yeah, not so much behind the knees. Yeah, that just kind of was like, ew for me. Yeah.
Or you lick it off before it gets too sticky.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Behind the knees kind of
Boy,
made me
but
squeamish.
you are not romantic at all. I think
you know
you
what?
have our listeners fooled.
Sometimes, I told you, there are some women that think like men.
Do you know that there is a specialty chocolate that's available in sex stores that this chocolate is genital friendly?
Okay, so let me ask you this. Did you know that?
No, I did not. I did not.
Good answer. I imagine, though, that any chocolate would probably be friendly and safe. Only because, and just think about this, except for you don't want to use the kind that had the hot little peppers in them.
Oh,
Yeah. I actually had a
Save
little...
that for your mouth.
Yeah, I had a little accident with that. I didn't know that it had hot peppers and I chewed it too quickly and swallowed it. And let me just explain that my throat, the back of my throat was not good for hours. Okay? So I was choking on that. But anyway, you want to be careful with what kind of chocolate you use. But generally, chocolate is mostly natural. So I would go with a nice, good dark chocolate or a good chocolate that's pretty much on the natural side. And as far as like what you were talking about in the little sex shops, the genital friendly, I'm almost thinking that may have some added chemicals that we don't necessarily need. That's just my thought process. If they're selling it there, I'm not thinking that it's going to be the most natural way to go.
You might be better off at a high-end chocolate shop.
I'm thinking that. That's exactly what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
Good chocolate, melt it in a double boiler. It's a little bit of prep time, but it's so worth it.
Sounds worth it to me.
Absolutely. And this way you have something delicious, natural, very fine. And let's face it, if you're going to have sex with chocolate, you want to make sure it's some good chocolate so that it's good sex.
Yeah, good chocolate equals good sex.
I think so.
Yeah, it really does. There are other games that you can play.
Well, do tell. Do share because, whatever's in your mind right now, we listeners want to hear. Inquiring minds want to know.
Well, how about this? Blindfold your partner and dab.
Oh, we're back to the submissive and the dominance
yeah,
again.
yeah.
You know, Anthony, let me ask you a question. Is this something that you really like?
Well,
you don't. No need to answer. I'm talking about the vernacular. No need to answer.
you know that I'm confident,
I know.
secure, and demanding.
I do know those things.
Yes.
And you
But
know,
that is the way I live my life.
if everyone who's listening now, definitely send us an email with your thoughts about this. And if you have any questions or anything about the sex and chocolate, we can certainly share anything that you'd like. So just email us at trendradio920@gmail.com. You'll definitely be glad you did. And back to you, Anthony. I want to hear about these games.
Alrighty. So you're blindfolding your partner, and then you're dabbing a little chocolate somewhere on your body. Then you make your partner find it. Yes.
Find the chocolate. Oh my God. Well, I just have myself my own idea right now.
Okay. What is that?
I'm not sharing it.
Oh, okay. Well, then you, in your pretty little head of yours, you know that this is a fun, slow way to get aroused.
Absolutely.
And, especially if you and your partner enjoy a close intimacy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's really nice.
Yeah.
So-
Very nice.
Yeah.
Find the chocolate. It's like find Waldo. Find the chocolate.
Now, you know what's interesting? You had said something about, liking to get like hot and sticky and worried about the sheets, which really sounds like you worried about the sheets.
I guess part of the problem that I have is that, and this is
All your
the
sheets
truth,
are 200 thread counters.
most of my sheets, honestly, are light in color.
Egyptian cotton.
They're light in color is the thing. Most of them. My preference is a lot of white. And so it's just, I just kept thinking about the chocolate and the white and the ivory. And, it was just, I don't know, it was making me a little nervous. I have to be honest. It was making me a little nervous.
All right, so I'm going to tell you how to fix that then, because the last thing that I want is for my co-host to be
Nervous?
nervous. Because when you're nervous and upset,
Well, I'm not upset. I was just concerned,
and listen, if you messed up all those sheets of yours, I know you'd be pretty upset.
Probably.
Okay, so here, I'm going to tell you what to do.
Okay.
All
Get
right.
black sheets?
No, you're going to get some old sheets. Some really old sheets that they're a little tattered, a little worn, the ones you don't wear anymore, the ones when you
I
have...
was just thinking throwing a couple of towels down.
Oh, no, not for what I'm going to talk about.
Okay.
Because you're going to need these old sheets. You're going to need a giant jug of chocolate syrup.
Oh, boy.
And then you are just going to smother each other's body with chocolate and simply be passionate. Obviously, you're going to need a shower after this. But in spite of the mess, the sensation will be outstanding.
You think?
And then you jump in the shower together.
Yeah.
Do I have you speechless?
You know what? You do. You do. You have me speechless.
Okay, so if you're looking for a new sexy experience, tonight is the night. It's Valentine's Day.
Yes.
Consider using chocolate. And not sure of what your partner would like? Well, doesn't matter. Remember, sex is about playing and having fun.
Absolutely.
And what's more fun than chocolate?
I don't think there's anything more fun than chocolate.
I'm Anthony Vincent of Anthony Vincent Salon. Time for another fun and fabulous beauty tip with our tip chick. And here she is.
Got dry and brittle? Squeeze a little protein pomade into that parched mane. Say hello to beautiful.
Want your beauty question answered on the air? Email us now from AnthonyVincentSalon.com. Remember, for the 150,000 hairs on your head, there's only one choice. Call us now at 609-448-2212. You'll be glad you did.
And now for the fun facts on finance
From a feminine point of view, our very own Dina Cobran.
of DC Alexander Wealth Management. Good morning, Dina. Welcome back.
Good morning, Dina.
Thank you. Always great to be here.
Dina, what does it mean to have an investment objective, and what are the steps involved?
And in order to create an investment objective, you need to figure out what your goals are. Okay. So you figure out what your goals are based on specific time frames as well as some specific goals in your mind, such as, give you an example. When I break down goals, I look at 1 to 5 years as being short term, 5 to 10 years as being medium term, and then 10 plus being long term. And then what I do is define it within each of those time frames, specific goals. Okay. And then, so depending on the time frame or the goal that you have in mind, if it's 1 to 5 years, you want to buy a house, and that's very short term, obviously, you can't be, and your investment objective has to be conservation of principal, right?
Okay.
Versus a 10 plus, which would be maybe for retirement or college planning, depending on if you have young children. That would be longer term. Your investment objective would be more growth oriented, right? More stock oriented, right? Stocks, mutual funds with stocks in it, things like that. Where if you're kind of 5 years before retirement and that's your short term goal, you would maybe look at some growth, but also some income type investment objective as well. Did that answer your question? Did that make
Yeah,
sense?
it answered it beautifully.
Okay.
Especially since, as you were saying this, I was thinking you can do all of these things at once also.
Oh, absolutely. And that's what we do is we sit down with a piece of paper. Doesn't have to be fancy. And we just write 1 to 5 years. That's your short-term goal. And then we say, okay, what are your short-term goals? So you might say, I don't know, Elise, give me some ideas.
Buy a beach house.
Okay, so your beach house could be maybe in your 1 to 5 year or your 5 to 10 year or even your 10 plus year.
Okay.
Right? So then we write under, let's say it's 10 plus years. We put a beach house in 10 plus years.
Okay, but and also that one, I would also put, save for retirement.
Right. But then you would put retirement also. And so what we do is we would say, okay, getting back to the beach house, how much do you want to spend in today's dollars for that beach house? You might say, well, I want to spend, $350,000. Well, okay, let's see where's the beach house going to be for $350,000
in 10 years.
Right, exactly. So then we need to say, okay, let's inflation that. Let's take that number and we multiply that out for inflation. We figure out how much we're going to be in today's dollars, but in tomorrow's dollars.
Oh,
right.
And
then we factor in, okay, how much do we need for a down payment? How are we going to put aside money for that down payment? Where is it going to come from? And then see how it all ties into like a nice little pizza pie.
All right.
Or puzzle, however many
Pizza
different
pie
things
puzzle.
you have.
What about on short term? Let's say if you're saving for a new car.
Well, short term would be obviously putting the money directly into the bank. I mean, unfortunately, there's not a lot of interest in the bank today.
Right.
So back in the 80s and 90s, we were able to get, a lot better return than we are today. So it's unfortunate, but you also can't afford to take that risk for a short-term investment. At least I feel that I'm very conservative, for my clients. So I would say if you are in the 1 to 5 year range, you really shouldn't be in anything that is risking what we call the principal, the main amount that you're putting in there. So, saving for a car, if it is truly 1 to 5 years, then you'd probably have to put it in the bank.
Speaking about cars, what I've always done is the very first car that I purchased was a used car, 3 to 5 years old, and I saved and I paid cash for that car, and I drove it, and then I sold it, and the cash that I got from that car went into the next used car that was 3 to 5 years old, and all I wound up having to do was just add a few dollars to it.
Well, that's a fabulous way to do it. I mean, if everybody did that, obviously it would make the most sense. Because if you're buying a new car, you can't work that way, because a new car, you walk out of the dealership and it depreciates automatically. So when you go to use that car after 5 years, it's not worth the same amount of money. You've lost, 10%, 20% of your money. Where if you're buying a used car, you're getting definitely a better value for your dollar. And you will be able to sell that and move it into a new car. Plus, additional savings. So it won't take you that long to save then.
You answered my question.
Great.
She always does.
I always try.
And give us your website.
It's dc-alexander.com.
Great.
Look her up today.
You'll be glad you did.
Securities and investment advisory services offered through Next Financial Group Incorporated, member FINRA/SIPC. DC Alexander Wealth Management is not an affiliate of Next Financial Group Incorporated. 2346 Route 33, Suite 307, Robbinsville, New Jersey 08691. Phone number 609-945-7330.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, Chocolate Charlie.
How's it going, guys?
Hi there.
We've got another brilliant show for you today. And real quick, let's talk about getting out of the comfort zone and exploring some of the more unique things out there.
Let your palate do the exploring.
Exactly. And Chocolate Box has all of the right things that will really challenge your palate to taste things in a different light. And Anthony here and Elise here have both gone through that, and they can't go back now.
Once you go there, there's no going back.
We have very discriminating palates.
Yes, we do.
And they can now say with their pinky up, we are chocolatiers. So come join us at Chocolate Box and become a chocoholic.
And coffee. A Javaholic.
You'll be glad you did.
This portion of our show is sponsored by Susan Eckley Ruck of ID Life. Not a one-size-fits-all nutritional program.
ID Life stands for Individually Designed Life, where nutrition is personal, formulated just for you and your needs.
Get started today. Take the free HIPAA-compliant health assessment.
healthforlife.idlife.com.
That's the number 4.
Or give Susan a call, 609-712-1351.
Follow her on Facebook.
You'll be glad you did. So, Anthony, thinking about all that chocolate and, all that hot sex that everybody's going to be having tonight, there's something else that you can do with the chocolate. You can also play. You can, how do you say this without sounding absolutely awful? But you can take, a little sex toy or a little something,
sex toy? Something
little.
Where are you going with this?
I'm just saying you can dip that in chocolate too and play with it.
Oh.
Uh-huh. There's all kinds of little things. I mean, if they're already going to be, playing with the chocolate and the fruit and the banana, why not, spice it up a little bit more?
Well, I don't know how many people out there are intimidated by sex toys.
Well, for the ones who are intimidated, tune out. The ones who aren't, listen up.
Well, do you know that there's a band of rogue, kinky gynecologists that call sex toys essential?
Yeah, I do.
Yes, yeah, we know some.
Yeah, I actually know a couple of gynecologists that actually refer people, to purchase these toys. That's why there are so many of those, romantic, as they call them, pure romantic little parties that ladies have, they go to, and they can purchase them right then and there, and they don't have to get them through the mail, not knowing where they're coming from,
right?
Or anything like that. So we've met quite a few of them,
yes,
these girls who have these parties. Instead of Tupperware, it's called something else. Where, and so it's fun. It's like blankware.
So, right, because who do you ask about lube or a vibrator that'll help you get there?
I'll tell you
easier?
Exactly who you ask. You ask us, and we will give you this information.
Yeah, ask Elise on this one.
Oh, they always ask me. Absolutely.
Well,
I have no worries or shame.
Well, most doctors don't prescribe tools that have the potential to save women's sex lives. And, instead...
But some do.
Yeah, some do. And I think we're going to have one or two of these doctors on our show. And
well,
we'll talk
I know
more
one
about
of them
this.
that's definitely going to be talking with us soon.
Okay. So there are these doctors that you can buy your sex toys right in their office.
That is correct.
And it is, it's a very small band of rogue gynecologists, but they are they are helping to change that, especially for women who never walk into one of those sex shops. For women in their 20s and 30s.
Well, I don't think you necessarily need to go into those places because, quite frankly, that could be a little intimidating, I would think. And quite frankly, you never know who's going to be there.
I wouldn't walk into one of those
But
things.
you can really go online.
Because if I did, I know there'd be somebody there that I know or somebody'd be seeing me walking
out. All right,
out.
enough.
I would
Stop
never,
talking, Anthony.
ever.
Stop talking. But you can absolutely
find out. You can go online, you can email us, whatever, and we can let you know where you can go to have one of these parties and get something, safe, basically. And we'll give you the name of those gynecologists too, ladies.
So if you're a young lady in your 20s or 30s, buying a vibrator is no big deal. According to Dr. Lauren Strichter, author of Love Sex Again.
Love Sex Again.
Yes, she's a gynecologist that fixes the issues that are sabotaging your sex life. Okay. But for older women, hearing your doctor talk about these tools can be not so fun or embarrassing.
I guess it depends on what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm. As far as sex toys goes, I've looked for studies, telling you which vibrator is best. And there ain't one.
Do you need one?
No.
All right.
I was just trying to find something, that was good for the show. But what I did hear about was just trial and error and try to have the right sex toy for you.
The right little wand?
The right little wand, yes. I'm surprised you know about the wand from my inquisitive nature. People have told me that the Hitachi magic wand is the Cadillac of vibrators.
I know everything. You're the one who tells me that all the time.
Yeah, that's true. And your little magic wand that you're talking about was actually brought out in the 70s. And it was brought out to soothe a sore back. But it also found
another
niche,
purpose.
Yes, with
another
a niche
purpose.
crowd. Yeah, and it was such a powerful massager that women found that they had to place a towel between their lady parts and this device.
Years back, I was seeing an ear, nose, and throat surgeon. I had a really serious sinus issue, and he was selling these little mini vibrators for your sinuses. They were just about so big. They took care of, your sinuses or whatever you needed. And it was a very interesting little thing that this doctor was selling. I had this little mini vibrator that this doctor prescribed. And I'm sitting in a car in the back seat one day with, a couple of other people, and we're all talking, and my sinuses were really bothering me, and I took it out and I'm massaging my sinuses, and one of the girls says, "What a great little mini vibrator." And I was like, "Oh no, it's not a vibrator, it's for my sinuses." And she's like, whatever you wanted us to believe, Elise. Absolutely. It was a very funny thing.
Well, so then you may have had one of those Kegel exercises machines.
Is that what you think it was?
Well, I don't know.
Anthony, you weren't there, so you don't know what the little vibrator looked like.
Well, there is this company called Jopin that has a Kegel exerciser. Okay. Now, you could do hundreds of Kegel exercises a day, or you could get this little gadget. And here's how it works. You inflate it. You inflate the toy to the desired thickness. Up to 3 inches thick.
Okay.
So you want it comfortably snug. Then you coat it with an electrode gel.
Ah, okay.
You insert it, and the vibrations stimulate your PC muscles.
I see.
An electrode gel? I don't know.
That's interesting.
That sounds dangerous
That's really
to me.
Interesting.
I don't know. Well, it's something different.
Sounds like you can literally blow up.
Yeah, Yeah. So, Elise, which sexual aids do the gynecologists find themselves recommending over and over again? What do you think?
Lubricants.
Yeah, absolutely right. They're available in supermarkets, and they're probably the least intimidating. In fact, there was a 2014 study in the Journal of Sexual Medicine that 66% of women said they'd use that they have used a sexual lubricant before, and most often to make the sex more comfortable. Oh. I just think they got the right partner if they need all that lube.
I'm sorry, what?
Well, these women are using all of this lube to make sex more comfortable. Don't you think the guy's just not turning them on?
That could be. That could be.
Find yourself another guy.
Or some women just might have an issue. It might be the right guy. It just might be the woman is having an issue. But
I don't know anything like that.
But chances are, if she's not, producing that.
All right. Okay. Well, last but not least.
I think you need to get.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Go on.
Alrighty. Vaginal dilators.
What about it?
Okay. Well, do you know what a dilator is?
No, actually, that I don't.
Okay, well, I didn't realize this, but dilators, they come in a range of different sizes, and they are phallic shaped, but they're not designed for pleasure.
And what are they designed for?
Well, after sliding one in, you leave the dilator inside for about 5 to 15 minutes, concentrating on letting your muscles relax around it. You repeat this process daily, and then once it becomes comfortable, you upgrade to a larger size.
And why would you do that? Is that like a stretching thing?
Some women are very, very small down there. Very,
Let me
small.
just tell you something. I understand that.
So these dilators
but most
help.
women...
Or they're very uptight.
Okay, yeah, uptight. That's the thing, because the truth of the matter is that a woman's body is designed to have a baby. So you can absolutely get a watermelon out of something the size of a watermelon out of that little hole that's the size of a lemon naturally.
I think I may have seen a movie.
So the truth of the matter is that you're either just uptight, literally, or whatever. The dilator thing. Oh my.
Well, also, if your man is Italian, maybe.
Shut up.
Maybe you need the dilator to relax you there. Okay. In closing, one fairly common conditioners that dilators can treat are vagissimus.
Vagissimus?
Yes.
Vagissimus. That's an interesting one.
Where the muscles essentially contract down to keeping the penis out.
Enough said. There might be a reason why this lady wants that out. Because like you just said, if your man is Italian, you might not want... Nah. That's very funny.
Okay. Well, lovers, you have been listening to Trend Radio, where we talk about what's hot and what's not every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Learn and laugh with us anytime, any place. Go right to our website, AnthonyVincentSalon.com. Click away and listen today.
And if you have a topic of interest that you want us to talk about, or you'd like to be a guest on our show, email us now at trendradio920@gmail.com. You'll be glad you did.
I'm Anthony Vincent.
And I'm Elise.
We'll talk to you next week.
Bye for now.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah.